Corruption is a cancer that affects all, and it's up to Nigerians to fight it, especially amongst youths. On the program tonight, we will shine a light on the power of young people to drive change and unite against corruption. From grassroots activism to national movements, Nigeria Today will be exploring the ways in which youth are leading the change and can lead the change against corruption, and also promote a culture of integrity and transparency. Thanks for joining us on Nigeria Today. I am Eukaria Clinton. With me in the studio to talk about, uniting young people against corruption is Akinola Aramide Atolagbe, Director, Education and Advocacy Services, Code of Conduct Bureau. It's a pleasure to have you in Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, also joining us in the studio is John Oko Odi, the spokesperson and head Media and Public Communication, ICPC. It's a pleasure to have you in Nigeria Today.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, gentlemen, you know when they talk about corruption, a lot of times people want to point fingers at other people, at what, when they say corruption, people say, politicians are corrupt. But even the person that is saying it, he himself or she herself is involved in one form of corruption or the other. So I will start from the basics. To put it in the right perspective, what exactly is corruption, or what does it mean to be corrupt? John?
Well, corruption has multiple definitions. But let us say any deviation from the normal, acceptable code of living is corruption. It could come in different forms. Could be extortion, bribery, examination malpractice, procurement irregularities, fraud, a lot. Anything that deviates from the normal way of life is corruption.
Okay, thank you very much for that opening remark. Ms. Akinola, of course, John has made us understand, what corruption is. And by that definition, you find out that quite a lot of people are guilty of it. But then again, today we are celebrating the International Day for Anti-Corruption, right? And we are focusing on the youth. Why is it important to focus on the youth when you talk about corruption?
Well, it has been with us for a very long time. The fight has also been on. But I think there's a realization that those coming behind, you need to make them to understand what integrity is at an early stage, so that by the time they also come on board, corruption will have nowhere to stay. So bringing in the youths now, and then maybe from their early age, will really help the fight against corruption.
Now back to you, John. Bringing in the youth at an early age will help to fight corruption.
Sure.
But these youth are looking at the elders, some of whom are deep into corruption. And we see today in our society how, to an extent, it's been kind of encouraged in one way or the other, even in our religious circles and all of that. So how can we do this in trying to ensure that the youth help in fighting corruption where they themselves are not really having good examples?
Well, it is unfortunate that we have a dearth of true integrity icons in Nigeria. People you can look up to and say, oh, as a young person, I want to mold my life in the pattern of this person. There are very few people we can look up to and say, oh yes, this is the kind of life I want to have. This is the kind of person I want to mold my life by his own way of life. But it doesn't mean that we should give up. No, it doesn't mean that. There is still hope that not every adult has failed. All of us are corrupt, yes, in one way or the other, but not every adult has failed. And the young ones learn easily from what they see you do, much more than what you say. But then, we go to them, we reach them in their schools, at early stages of their academics. We meet them in their social clubs. We meet them in their churches. We meet them everywhere, and we talk to them. We cannot stop talking. As we talk, we also hope that adults will begin to change their lifestyle too, and that the law too will be enforced, because we also need enforcement to serve as deterrent for some adults to amend their ways, for the youth to learn. So we cannot give up on the youth. The future belongs to the young people, and if we want a better future, we must mold the young ones.
Now, Mr. Akinola, now, what are the common forms of corruption that the youth have faced today?
Well, let me start by saying there's hardly any form of corruption that the adults engage in that the youths are not also involved in. However, there are some peculiar ones that are that is common among the youths. Number one is the exam malpractice, forgery of academic documents. Yes. Cyber criminality. So, and even sometimes they are used politically too, during elections to falsify results and or what have you. So it's quite a number out there, quite a lot.
Okay, John, I know there are quite a lot of number of corruption, forms of corruption out there that the youth are exposed to. But again, we also know that these youths are coming from homes.
Yeah.
A lot of things they learn from home, from parents. Like you said, they learn fast. You know, from a tender age, a child is very fast at picking things, whether good or bad. So, how can the family, the parents, the guardians, work towards ensuring that a young person or a child grows up to say no to corruption? What is the role of the parents, guardians?
Parents and guardians are, first and foremost, the principal custodians of these children, and they are responsible for molding their character from birth. So they should lead by example. I know a situation where sometimes young people, children of infants, toddlers, listen to their parents tell lies on the phone. And they think it's normal. The parents don't see it as anything. It's wrong. A child needs to go somewhere at 2 p.m. and the child has not left the house at 1:55 and the place is a 30 minutes walk or drive, and you think it's normal. the child begins to see lateness as a normal thing because the mother or father never goes early to church, never goes early to mosque, never goes early to any meeting. So lateness is a norm to that child, and the parents don't think about it. Parents and guardians need to know that whatever you fail to do today in the bringing up of these children will haunt you tomorrow when these children grow up. It's as simple as that. So if you want a future, because it is an investment you're making in these children, an investment for your own better future. I'll get old tomorrow. If everybody neglects his child, when you're old tomorrow, you need to cross the road when your limbs are not as strong as they are now, and you need help. The young man whom you refused to train when he was younger, but who is a little older now, will not see it as necessary to help you cross. To him, you're on your own. You caused it. It may not have been you directly, but somebody like you was careless in the bringing up of these children. So we should be careful how we bring these children up, and we should always maintain integrity first in everything we do, and show them the right example.
Showing them the right example, Akinola, we have, talked about, of course, from what John said, there are dangers that are attached to not, bringing up a child in the right way. Now, what are some of the dangers? Because it's good we lay this out, in the open so that parents will understand. People around will understand the danger. Because when you're doing what you're doing and the child is speaking and the young person is learning from what you're doing, like you said, it will come back to you. So what are the dangers of allowing corruption thrive in the hearts of the young child?
Well, the dangers are staring us in the face already. Because when a parent refuses to bring up a child properly, they deviate from the normal way a child should grow. They can't stay in school continuously. Even sometimes when they leave home for school, you think they're in school, they are not in school. They have already gone to do one or two things. And eventually when they grow older, they become bolder. They become bolder.
Yeah.
Okay? And they are the ones that will keep disturbing the society later in life.
Yes.
Become armed robbers, become scammers, all kinds of vices that you can think of. So the danger is already with us. So what we should be looking at is, can we stem this? And then how can we avoid the continuity?
Now, before we talk about how we can stem it and how we can avoid the continuity, we'll take a short break and the conversation will continue shortly. Don't go away.
The implementation of the ruling is also dependent on another aspect or another arm of government.
Nowhere in the world will allow under digital economy for banks not to be dispensing domestic currency in that economy.
What will make this one different? We want to know what they do as occupation. All of these are attributes that are questions have been designed to investigate.
In a few days to come, you see that we are all around their own crannies and everywhere in Nigeria, telling people to cooperate.
Welcome to Nigeria Today.
Welcome back. This is still Nigeria Today, in case you're just joining us, and we're talking about uniting the youth against corruption. And I have two professionals here in the studio to talk about these issues. So back to our conversation, Akiola has said, you know, how do we stop this? How do we stem it? To stop it from continuing, you know, stop the continuity of this trend. So how do we stop it? How do we make the youth, like the topic says, unite the youth against corruption?
By truly uniting them against corruption, getting them involved. I can tell you what the ICPC has been doing and is doing, and by the grace of God will continue to do. We have huge investment in the youth population. In the primary schools, the secondary schools, the tertiary institutions, we are involving the youth. We have what we call the schools anti-corruption clubs in the primary and secondary schools, where we mobilize these young people, organize awareness seminar for them, organize debates, organize quiz, organize other fun things for them, and even teach them, because we have infused into the national curriculum anti-corruption studies. So in their clubs, at a social level, they discuss corruption, they prefer anti-corruption strategies, they even report corrupt practices to us. Yes, they do. It will shock you. Children from primary school, when they come to us, when we invite them or when they elect to come for study tour, they tell us. They ask you a question that indirectly reports what's going on in their school. A child once said to us in our auditorium, a primary school child, I think primary 5 or so, asked the question, is it right for my parents to buy toilet paper for me to take to school and my teacher takes it home? What has the child said? The child has just reported.
The teacher.
And she pointed at the teacher.
That must be embarrassing.
Oh, yes, it was. Now, you see, that is why with children you have to be careful. They do not know how to lie. They tell you as it is. Some of them will tell us that in my school, teachers call out answers to questions in the exam hall. I mean, what are we teaching them? But we are happy that the children are bold enough to speak out. That is because we have empowered them through the membership of these clubs, and we have emboldened them to speak out. At the tertiary level, we have what we call the Students Anti-Corruption Vanguard, where they look at issues affecting them and affecting their school environment. They report to us. They have safe reporting channels. They report to us. They carry out awareness campaigns in their school amongst themselves and within the school community, teaching and non-teaching staff. They report sexual harassment. They report many other kinds of...
Okay, that sexual harassment, is it also part of corruption?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
In fact, a professor in the University of Calabar, a former dean of law in the University of Calabar, was just sent to jail for 5 years for sexual harassment. The ICPC took him to court. I think just a few weeks ago. Professor Cyril Ndifon, to be precise. 5 years.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard that. You know, the ICPC is doing quite a lot. So what's the Code of Conduct Bureau doing really to fight corruption?
Sorry, doing to fight corruption?
Yes.
Among youths?
Everything.
Or corruption?
Corruption, generally.
Okay. Quite a lot. First and foremost, the Code of Conduct Bureau superintends over the Code of Conduct for public officers. The CCB enforces all the laws in that fifth schedule of the Constitution, okay? And one of them is the Declaration of Assets, There are quite a number of them. Okay, so currently the chairman of the Code of Conduct Bureau, Dr. Usman Abdullah Bello, just celebrated 1 year in office, and there has been tremendous changes in his approach to what CCB has been doing, away from what we have been doing before. And we have started receiving very good results. For the first time since the history of Code of Conduct Bureau, CCB is making recoveries from corrupt public officers. So he established a unit called FIFA, not the football FIFA. This one is
Corruption FIFA.
Corruption FIFA. That analyze the declarations made by public officers to see if your income justifies what you have. So CCB is doing quite a lot.
Yes, when you ask, is he among the young people? We have a lot of young people in the civil service. You know, we have a lot of youth in the civil service. So they're also part of it too.
I'm also part of them too.
It's obvious. So, John, of course, you've talked about, you know, what ICPC is in. What more can we do as individuals, as Nigerians, to promote the anti-corruption fight, especially among the young?
First of all, I think we should all act with integrity. We should be prepared to do what is right no matter who is watching, even if nobody is watching. We beat traffic lights. It happens every day, every minute in Abuja, including vehicles that are supposedly driven by highly placed members of society. On my way here, a vehicle, I do not know who was driving it, but a vehicle with the plate number of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria beat the traffic light there. And I asked myself, what's going on? So we should learn to conduct ourselves properly and then be ready to guide the young ones. They're impressionable. Some of them have known nothing else other than corruption all their growing up life. They were born into corruption, they met corruption, so it's a way of life to them. We who know better, who were born when things were better, who have been part of creating this menace because we are part of it, should know better to guide them. The Holy Book, one of the Holy Books says, bring a child up in the way he should grow, and when he grows up, he shall not depart from it. So we should never forget that. If we are not interested in our future, then we should abandon the young ones. But if we're interested in our future and for a Nigeria that will be better, we should really pay attention to the young ones. Live an exemplary life. Let our word be our bond. Guide them. Correct them when they are wrong. And let them see us live out what we preach. It will help.
Yeah, that's it. We should lead by examples. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Let me start with Mr. John Oko Odi. Is the spokesperson and head media and public communication ICPC. Thank you so much for coming and for your contribution. And Mr. Akinola Aramide Atolagbe, Director of Education and Advocacy Services, Code of Conduct Bureau.
Thank you so much.
I got it very well this way.
Very well.
Yes, I took my time. And thank you so much for being part of this program. Remember, Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. You can also check out this episode on or others on www.youtube.com/NTA News 24 Hub. I'm your carrier, Clinton. Thanks for watching.